All right, let's do a sound check. Let's do a mic check. Hear me, see me. How's everybody doing tonight? And while you guys reply, since there's a delay, I'm going to go ahead and get stuff started on my end. Good evening, everybody. Evelyn Keller, Joey, Mike B, OBP, welcome. It's, Monday night for us, where I'm looking at the markets for the first time tonight. I did trade the New York session, did pretty good. Hello, heck, Sarah. So let's start class. Welcome to Slow Markets, everybody. I'm Coach DBA, Coach Dakota. There's our risk disclosure. I typed that into our chat, and you could find it on our website, our Topstep risk disclosure. The reason for being, we're going to be analyzing the live markets. You can see the Nasdaq behind me. We'll analyze the live markets. We'll do live trade analysis. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. We have some amazing moderators like Sarah, who's going to be feeding me some of the questions that most likely I will be missing. If I do not answer them, just copy paste, and I try and get to all the questions. Yeah, it is Monday. I did trade today. Maybe I could go over my trades at first and see, because I traded my live account. So let me go ahead and switch to my live account, and then we could review my trading day, and then we'll look at going into tonight, what we can expect and plan for tomorrow, and see if there's any trade setups. And sometimes my live account takes just a moment to get loaded. And while it loads, let's go ahead and just take a look what happened on the daily. So we all know, we've been seeing this. The daily chart does not change too often, just one time a day. It looks like my live account just got loaded in. So what I'm looking at, and what I have been looking at as well, is it's going up and to the right. Very simple, very straightforward. Up and to the right. This is the daily candle. We did have a bit of a sell-off, a pullback down onto these lows, and we're rallying back up, and we're testing all-time highs. We broke to an all-time high. When was this? Thursday. I think this was the 22nd or the 21st. And we had a little bit of a pullback. If you guys were in my class before, this is kind of what I was looking for. It's very hard when we do rally to all-time highs and we just break it without any hesitation or any pullback. I like to have a pullback. I like to have some type of market consolidation before we break out. So hopefully we break out with momentum, very similar to what we've seen here. Maybe we get that here. I'm not sure. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm expecting, I guess, where we made an all-time high. We consolidated for a few days, and then we broke out with some momentum. I'm hoping that we could do the same here. So we got that pullback today. Today we went all the way down to the low of 18,414, and I was trading it. All my trades today was to the buy side. Let me see if this will add my trades in here. I take most of my trades off my phone. Don't do that. I'm always busy, so a lot of my trades on my live account throughout the day, I place and I set up and I trigger off my phone. So here's the FOMC, and we've been pulling back. We were right down at support this morning, right during the New York session open. I was sleeping, and very much it was a very basic, very simple buy the pullback. And so let me see if I can add my trades. If not, I'll just have to okay, there we go. Man, it just makes my charts look really ugly. Let me zoom into a 5-minute, and maybe we can get a little bit more clarity there while I organize these charts a little bit better. Okay, there we go. I woke up around, this is 9 a.m. for me. This is about an hour after the New York session started. We sold off. It looks like we reversed right at the New York session open. We started to rally, and we pulled back. And so for me, this was a pullback. We seen it on the longer time frame on the hourly that I was expecting this pullback. If we zoom all the way out, and we can start to see this was the FOMC. We started to get some consolidation here right around 400. And again, let me zoom in a little bit better so you can see what I was looking at was these levels, right? this is the FOMC. We had a lot of consolidation around this zone, and very much, this was resistance support. I was also looking for this, maybe common test right below 400 as well. So this is what I was looking at for support as a pullback, and then look for a continuation and maybe start headed up towards all-time highs. Sure enough, we did come down into that during the New York session, and we bounced off of it. And then for me, I was, let's go ahead, and today the market's going to be bullish. So every one of my trades I did take during the New York session, it was to the buy side. As you guys can see, these all say external because I executed these on my phone. I bought a 3-bar reversal on the 5-minute chart. We did sell off a little bit, had another, consolidation, double bottom, whatever you want to call it. I added into it. This was, 2 contracts. Max, I typically trade 1 to 3 contracts. And we rallied up. I closed one out at 557. Decided to hold one for most of the day, like I typically do. I like to hold on to trades a lot longer than a lot of traders. And we got this pullback. I went ahead and I added to 2 more contracts. At max, I believe I was at total 3 contracts. I'll have to go through and double check. I think max I was at 3 contracts. Bought a few here on the dip. We rallied going into the close. And of course, I started to take profit before the New York session close with a little bit of luck, right? Because you never know exactly where we're going to turn around. So I closed out 2 there. I was going to hold in 1. Very rarely do we get as great of a price as closing one out right before that sell-off. But yeah, that was my trading day. I finished up about $2,000 in my live account going into tonight with the same mentality. I believe that the market did get the pullback on this higher time frame. And I believe that it's a buy the dip mentality. So if we jump out to the 60-minute chart, we can see and we could analyze this a little bit better from a higher time frame, and then we'll start to zoom back into the 5-minute to see if there's any opportunities tonight. And the very first thing that I'm actually seeing is, this was the pullback, right? We pulled back. This is a beautiful bullish candle, a very big wick, and immediately buyers coming back up. And this was a low. This very well could be a higher low. And here's the pivot high. And so what I'm looking for is maybe we get some continuation up above and test 600 and above. And that could mean, this would be the higher low, and this could very well be a higher high if we're looking to break that. So we'll see. And the way that I would like to take advantage of this is either I don't think a buy limit order for me. A buy limit order would mean that we'll need to sell back off and find some type of a support. I would much rather use maybe a buy stop. So a buy stop maybe above this previous pivot that we made during the New York session close. And what that would actually say is if we rally up and we break above that pivot, then I would get into a long. And I would look for a continuation and make a higher high. Until then, we're kind of in the middle, right? We're kind of in the middle of this really ugly looking candle, and we're consolidating. We're actually pushing up and up. But essentially, to me, I'm looking at it as, here's a pivot. We made a low. We failed to go below that. And so I'm a bull, and I believe that it's been a buy the dip market. Let me go through some of your questions. Freddie A, negative 0.34%, and the clowns come out saying bulls wrecked. I'm going to 18,600 tonight. Yeah, so that's what we're seeing, is if this was a buy the dip mentality and we do start to show some bullish structure, I want to take advantage of getting in long. And the way I would do it is using a buy stop. Then, of course, this is kind of a wide stop loss for for an overnight trade where I'd be looking at getting in there, maybe looking at some profits. I don't think we could come up here yet, but I'm not really sure. Essentially, it's been infinite bids, and we've been rallying. There hasn't been much follow through after FOMC, to be honest. even though FOMC was, to me, a very positive event, and there was a lot of positive wording from Powell when he was speaking, I do believe we could rally up, and the question is, how do we take advantage of it? This is a 60-minute time frame on the Nasdaq. And so I'm just looking for ways to take advantage of bullish movement, either buying the dip, using limit orders, or using a buy stop to get in as we break out. This is a very wide stop loss. If I was to get triggered in long, my stop loss would be all the way down here because that was the last pivot. So I might need to wait to see if we can find some more structure in order for me to have a tighter stop loss and limit risk. As much of a bull as I am, I really do feel like this is, too wide of a stop loss, and it's not something I'm going to be willing to have such a wide stop loss. So even though I think the market's going to go up, it's just not there for me. And I'm not going to just jump in it right now, regardless of how confident I am. What time frame are you showing? Yeah, this is a 60-minute. Is your chart in Eastern Standard Time? My chart is here in Mountain Standard Time, I believe. So if we zoom down to a 5-minute chart, and we can talk about it a little bit more. Yeah, my chart is Mountain Standard Time. You can see this was the close. The close is at 2 p.m. for me, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you can see that that's a clear pivot, right? We closed, and immediately after the close, we've been just in a bullish uptrend. We opened up at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's been up since. We're up, 0.1%, which is not much. We could continue to drift higher and at least test the New York session highs. And if we do break above it, that was the pivot I was looking at the 60-minute chart, then the next level is, of course, going to be this nice 600 psychological level. Will we hit it tonight? Maybe during the London session. And how can we take advantage of a long? Because we've already started rallying up. Because, like I said, my stop loss would be down here immediately. And so the risk reward is not that great for me. I would much prefer something like this. I mean, it's still not a great risk reward. I just need more market structure in order for me personally to have a confident trade, have a good risk reward. Because right now, it's just not here, regardless of how bullish I am. Okay, Grizzly, short now. Remember my name. Okay, tomorrow, where's my note class? Where's my note? I am going to be on Power Players tomorrow. So I will be on Power Players tomorrow. Let's go ahead and make sure you guys know and aware. I have something special planned for Power Players. Me and Isaac is on there. While I make this note. Let's go ahead, and it's 7:14 p.m. for me. Okay, so I'm keeping this note, and we'll see where we're at tomorrow. Yeah, Power Players, it's going to be me and Isaac tomorrow. I have something really special, so yeah, come join me. If not, I'll let you guys in after tomorrow. It's going to be a fun surprise. It's going to be, I don't know who else is going to be. It's going to be me, Isaac, and yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, bullish Nasdaq. Let's move on. I'm going to watch this play out. We're continuing to push higher and higher, which actually means, let me come over here on the Nikkei. This is the Japanese market, ticker symbol NKD. Everybody here knows that I have been watching this. Very similar to the Nasdaq, right? We made all-time highs. I ended up getting short up here, and that was a beautiful trade for me last week. We've had quite the pullback. Like, this is a really decent pullback. We almost went to 40,000 even today. And now we're starting to rally. We're up, 0.3% already. And if we zoom in here, you guys can see it's a very thin order book. So this chart looks very, very ugly. We had this ugly sell-off during the New York session. it's been bullish, right? So this was the New York session rally. We had a little bit pullback during the New York session close. And we started to open up, and it's been up since then. And so I'm actually thinking the same thing, very similar to what I have during the Nasdaq, where we're making higher lows and we're making higher highs. We're kind of consolidating here. And so I really am looking for another higher high and looking for us to break out and push above, 40,400. Maybe come up and test 500. I'm not sure. We're at a level because there was, let me make sure you guys could see this. There was some resistance or previous support here. This is this previous support, and support becomes resistance. So I'm a little bit hesitant because I'd be buying so close to this resistance level. But I am bullish, right? We had that pullback. We are showing that bullish structure. However, we're already up, 0.3%. So we very well could see a pullback. And if we do get another pullback, maybe down to 300, I'm actually thinking about taking a long here. Let me go ahead and switch something out. Guys, where do we see the Topstep leaderboard? Tune in to Topstep TV. If you guys are curious about the Topstep leaderboard, I believe they show it during fast markets at 10:15 a.m. Yeah, I'm really wanting to get long the Nikkei, or the Nikkei as well. But I don't want to chase it. I don't want to FOMO. I would much rather just have a nice little pullback and see if we can make a higher low. David B, when will Nikkei be on Topstep X? Hopefully soon. I voted it. If you are on Topstep X, go ahead over to that question mark and you can upvote which features you want in there. And Nikkei is one of them. I voted for it, and I strongly recommend, if you want it on there, vote it for it as well. Jay Cook, currently long from 300. I agree with you, coming into some resistance. Jay Cook, are you long on the Nikkei? You're long 300, I bet, on the Nikkei. That's a beautiful trade. We broke out, and I missed it. We broke out of this resistance. We came back down, started to find some support right at that level, and yeah, that was a beautiful trade. I missed out. I don't want to be the guy to FOMO and try and get in. I will if we do get a little bit of a pullback. Then I could see myself getting in. I don't like 330s because we're kind of in the middle. I would much rather get in maybe if we come test like 310, 315. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and put a buy limit here. See if I could get filled. This is just for one contract, but I'm doing one contract on 3 express funded accounts. Let me make sure that's there. Wrong one. I got to make sure I'm doing the right one. Just so remember, I'm a trader and I make mistakes as well. And I need to make sure I'm not going to be making mistakes. That's for sure. So give me a second, guys. Last mistake I made, I was trading during Topstep TV takeover, and I fat fingered into 15 lots on my live account. I don't want to do that again. I'm not going to be fat fingering into 15. Oh man. It was one of those moments. Okay, here we go. That's where I want to get in at. I think that. No, Sir Noodles, it was like fat fingers into 15 contracts and instant DELL. That was not a good or fun day for me. Waking up early in the morning to Topstep TV takeover and fat fingered into a 30-second daily loss limit. Oh man. Okay, there we go. I got filled. I'm in 3 contracts, 1 contract per XFA. You guys can see that here. I'm trading my 3 express funded accounts, and 1 contract each. I'm going to see where this goes. I'm going to keep my finger on the trigger, see if we could get a little bit of bounce before I put my stop loss in. My stop loss would be right here. I'm actually going to put an emergency stop loss just to be safe, just in case we do have some dramatic news and it goes and just takes me out for the worst thing. Yeah, that's the worst feeling ever. However, I don't want to say I revenge trade. The following day was a lot better for me, and I've been in a good win streak, I guess. The market's been good. We've got a lot of nice, clean price action over the past week or so. Ever since rollover's been over, I'm happy that rollover's done. Market's been a little bit better for me during slow markets, during the New York session, and I've really enjoyed it. I'm going to be on Power Players tomorrow, and I believe that's at 11 a.m. Let me confirm here. 11 a.m. Central Standard Time for Power Players, I believe. Let's see. Man, tomorrow's already Tuesday, and it's a short week. It is a short week. Time goes by so fast. Yeah, Power Players, me, Andre, and Isaac R. 11 a.m. So tune in. That's going to be a fun one. I'm glad Andre's going to join me. It's time. He's good. Yeah, I got something good planned. Oh, I'm actually just laughing thinking of it. We have to clip it, Danielle, so be prepared to clip whatever it is I have planned, and it's going to be amazing. So anyway, back to these markets. I'm going to let this one play out for tonight. I believe that we could have another rally and see some highs, and my first target that I'm looking at is maybe up above 400 and maybe test above 485. We'll see this. Man, that was well, I joined you there. I got a little bit better price. Coach J, you're in at 300. I got in at 290. Mine's a little bit less probable because we didn't just push up. Yeah, we'll see how this baby plays out. If we do start to push up, immediately I'll move my stop loss up here to 265. Limit my risk, because that's the main thing that I am looking for and wanting to do, is finding ways to limit my risk. While we do that, let's go ahead and do some Q&A. Let's open up for a brief Q&A while we watch this, and then I'll jump over to some crude oil. Thanks, Skylar. Let's see. Let me make sure I didn't miss any questions. Kindly give levels for YM. I haven't traded YM for a while. I'm not going to analyze YM. It's mainly been the Nasdaq, crude oil, Nikkei, and then soon to be gold. I did a poll last time, and gold seems to be the next market of choice for everybody. And I'm pretty decent with gold. It's been a few months since I traded it. I started to watch it lately. We are in a rollover, and I'm just going to wait until the rollover is finished. So maybe the end of this week, I'll start looking at gold a little bit more, because we just finished the rollover in the Nasdaq, and it just kicked my butt. So I'm going to wait until gold settles down just a little bit before I start watching it. Do I do the 6-minute and 3-minute as well? No. I'm not sure. The main thing I trade is, and we do this every night during slow markets, and I did the same thing on the Nasdaq, where I'll start with a daily, and we'll analyze where we're at on the daily. Not much changes on the daily, and then I'll drop down to a 60-minute chart, and we'll do analysis on a 60-minute, and then we'll zoom in even further down to a 5-minute chart, and that's where I'll really start to fine-tune my trades. I'm going to let this one play out. I'm not really liking the price action too much. Down $125, 175. While we're doing this, let's go ahead and look at crude oil. And crude oil was a great opportunity. I missed it. Everybody knows I'm a crude bull. We had this huge rally break all the way up to 73. We got that pullback. Unfortunately, we didn't get to where I wanted to. I was looking for it to get a little bit deeper, closer to around $80 a barrel. We didn't. We just pulled back, and now we're rallying right back up. We broke above $82 a barrel now, and this was a decent trade. I mean, this is a very clean, easy-looking pattern. I was looking for crude oil to just have one of those, stop-loss hunts where we sell off, then we turn around, and then we rally. We didn't get that, unfortunately. We just broke out, and now we're continuing. And so I kind of already missed the ship on this pullback because this is the pullback I wanted. This is the pullback that, as a bullish trader, we want this type of price action in the market. We have a rally, we have a pullback, we have a little bit of consolidation, and then we want another continuation rally. And so I've missed this. As much as very similar to the Nasdaq and everything else, is as much as I want to just get in long, I want to wait for a pullback again before I take a trade and put some risk on to see if we could get a break above $83 a barrel, or at least maybe test it. So right now we're already at 82.20, and we very well could just keep pushing up, but I need to limit risk, right? This is a 60-minute crude oil chart, Pepe, where I'm looking for a pullback and maybe something like a buy limit order, very similar to what we were talking about on the Nasdaq. I love to use buy limit orders. You guys are going to hear me say it all the way and all the time. Is where would I look for a buy limit? Well, we know crude oil likes to stop loss hunt, so maybe something like this around 51.58. I see David B, you're saying 81, 41, 42. I don't know why I said 51. 80, 81, 59. So maybe somewhere down here is what I'm thinking of. I mean, we do have this pivot where we bounced off of 81.80s, 81.70s, and then we broke out of this. And, everybody who's getting long, they probably have their stop losses there. So I would look for a buy limit myself down in this zone. I don't know if I would want it too deep. I think something like this, and then have a stop loss below these pivot highs. And then, of course, my take profits would be, maybe 83. See if I could catch a nice runner, or even back up to the highs of 82.40. So if we zoom into the 5-minute chart. So here's the 5-minute chart, and we can start to see it and fine-tune the trade a little bit better. And so this would be a buy limit, and what I'm looking for is if the market sells off, it'll trigger me into a long, and then I would look for a continuation to the upside. And that's assuming that we sell off. Everybody who is long, they have their stops right below this pivot. Do what the crude oil always does as well. And yeah, this is actually looking like a pretty good point because we do have consolidation here, which makes me like this buy limit even further. And then I do like this area for a stop loss because it's hiding below these pivot highs. And I'm risking, say 56 down to, we'll just make it even. Maybe something, that's a little too tight. Maybe like that. Maybe something like this where I'm risking $300 and I can look for, these highs. But we are looking really bullish and we're starting to just go up and up. We're already hitting 82.27. So something like this. I do like to get into 2 contracts in crude oil. So I might be willing to do this where I'm only risking $200 per contract and then get into 2 contracts here. And that way it will allow me to scale out. If we do sell off and it triggers me into a long, I could use something where I can scale out using a take profit here and then maybe one here, or even leave one as a runner. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What is the level? 81.59. Yeah, just it's more of a zone, right? These are not exact numbers, and that's probably a good thing why I don't have them there. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I posted the Top Step risk disclosure. These are primarily just levels. Um, this is a decent zone. This is not an exact level where I'm saying I'm going to be putting my buy limit. This is a great example of a good, 3-to-1, 4-to-1 risk reward where we could scale into a trade or scale out of a trade, and an example of something for slow markets, right? Where we can get in, place the trade at night, right before I go to bed. And, if the market does keep just rallying up, then so be it. That's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. It's just one of those where I would place it before I go to bed. I would go to sleep, and if it does not go down, I don't get into a trade. If we rally up, then I miss the trade, unfortunately. But I just want crude oil to give me the price that and the risk reward that I'm looking for. Most of the time, it does not give me the risk reward that I'm looking for, unfortunately. Yeah, let's take a look at gold. I don't have gold set up, so give me a second while I do that. So give me a moment. I'll get gold set up. I'm not going to be trading gold, but I will take a look. And while I do that, feel free to just type in any questions. Richard Harris, what's my chess score? I'm only a 1400. Yeah, I play chess.com. I'm a big chess fan. I have the app on my phone, and when I'm not trading, instead of watching the chart and getting FOMO, I just play chess. Or I hop on our Topstep Discord and I'm answering questions there. Give me a second. Let's see. I am trying to pull up gold for you. Oh, there's Nikkei. We don't want that. Let's go here. We're in we're not in April anymore. What contract are we in gold? You guys know? I just want to make sure we're on rollover, and I'm showing April here on this platform, but I know that's not right. Let me know in the chat, guys, because I think we pushed it June. Everyone's saying April. It is rollover. I thought we were in June. Use June, use M. Yeah, we are in rollover. So while I'm doing this, it almost stopped me out of this Nikkei trade. Let me see if I could get June's contract up. Here we go. Here's June. How's that look, guys? Is it JCJ? Let's go here. We should be better. Is this what you guys are seeing for you guys? Or should we just go ahead and leave it on this one? Yeah, this is why I hate June. I mean not June, but I absolutely hate rollovers. They are the absolute worst. And typically the good rule of thumb, so if anybody's out here, if they're questioning is what contract should I use, is you should be using the one with the most the most volume. And right now it's just showing me April. And everybody in here is saying June. But it hasn't rolled over to June just yet. So I'm just going to do April's, and then at the end of the week we could roll it over. We could roll over from there. GCJ4. Let's see. Yeah, I'm think I'm just gonna do this one. This is why I absolutely hate rollovers. Okay, here we go. So here's gold, and this was last week, right? This is what we were looking at last week, and too bad I didn't trade this. This would have been a decent trade. We had that huge rally that we seen here during FOMC consolidation, and then an immediate sell-off. And then when we first pulled gold up, I was looking at this as just a pullback, and that we are starting to reverse trend and sell off. Very much we are making these lower lows. Well, we were making these lower lows and lower highs, and it seems like we just are consolidating. And this is a 60-minute chart, and yeah, this is why I just did not like to trade gold. It's not very, I'm not used to it like I used to be. This is a 60-minute gold chart. Very much basic price action, right? Where we make these lower lows, making lower highs. And now we reversed this, right? We made a higher low, and we just made a higher high today. And now we're just kind of consolidating and kind of breaking this. And so very much if I had a bias in gold, I feel like we could sell back off and come down towards these lows that we seen March 17th through 20th. So I would be looking for gold if I was to get into a position, or if I have a bias is going to be bearish. I would be bearish gold if I was to trade it, to see if we can just break and have a continuation. But remember, guys, it's been a while since I traded gold. We are starting to break down a little bit, and I would look for gold to continue and maybe test the 2150s. That's the immediate thing that I'm looking at. And it's like I said, it's been a while since I traded gold. This is going to be an interesting journey for me. I'm not going to be trading it until I feel comfortable in gold. However, I'm perfectly fine with talking about it, maybe looking at it each night with everybody here and starting to get used to it. Maybe, run a few test trades every once in a while, very small, finding really good trade location, good risk reward, and start to get back into it. Because right now I'm Nasdaq, crude oil, the Nikkei, and then, testing out gold. And I think this might be a good chance or a good opportunity to maybe show everybody here how I transition to a new market, or at least, implement a new market into my current portfolio or strategy. Yeah, we have people in here. Gold can be tricky. Hecker, do you trade gold? I'm curious. Are you a gold trader? So we're gonna watch it, guys. I'm gonna save this. Actually, let me go ahead and save. So workspace, save. And so I'm going to save gold, and we'll review gold every night, and just maybe talk about it throughout the rollover. And once we're done once we're finished with the rollover, maybe I'll place a trade or two. You hear gold is difficult to trade. Let's do this. Let me do this poll one more time. We did a poll before. Because I'm curious. Because there's a group of people, do you trade gold, yes or no? And the next question is, are you profitable? Because those are two different things, right? So let's see who in here trades gold, because gold has been the talk of what everyone wants to talk about. And I know I used to trade it. I used to really like it. It did offer some really good risk reward opportunities, because it can move. And when it does move, it moves a lot. And maybe this was one of them. And if I was going to place a trade on gold, that was it, right? I would have been triggered in here. So this would have been my entry. Let's just say here when we break down. So my entry would have been short 2,171, something like that. My stop loss here and then my take profit would most likely be down either here or here. So I mean, it's still a really good risk reward market in something like this. And so maybe I can continue to talk about gold. We can see if there's any more, opportunities that arise, and I could place a trade or two. You lost today on gold. So we're getting about, now we're at about 30%. I think it depends on the day, because last time I did this poll, it was the opposite. I think we had 60%, yes, traders were trading gold. It depends on the day. It is Monday night. We have different traders in here on Monday versus Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So I'm going to continue to gauge everybody here on their opinions on gold. We'll talk about gold when I do have time, and see if it's going to be something I implement. But I'm not going to force anything. Like I said, I'm a trader first, and if I'm going to spend my time looking at something, I need to be at least given some opportunities or have a chance to make some money on it. But I'm going to watch this. We're going to check out tomorrow to see if gold's going to be down here or where's gold going to be at. I'm going to consider this. Let me go ahead and we'll talk about this one. So stop loss, entry, and take profit. Tomorrow we'll check it out and see where we're at. Okay, let's see. You're here every day. Awesome. Yeah, and also guys, I got some more news. We're still getting progress on the giveaway for the traders who are here every day. So that is amazing to see how many traders are here every day. So if you're new, and if anybody is new to this class in the slow markets, I 100% recommend just joining us every night. You don't have to trade. You don't have to be forced to be here. But if you enjoy it, just know, if you are here pretty consistently, I am pushing to reward the traders who are here, whether that be in form of, free stuff, resets. I'm not 100% sure. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and I'm looking to get as much as I can for, of course, my class and seeing what we could do for you guys. So I'm getting into another long right now. I'm adding to my position on NKD. So I'm sitting here watching NKD. I'm going to switch over back to it. Let's see. I'm adding to my position, and it still doesn't show my stop loss. So I added to this when we started reverse as I was just talking. So now I'm in a total of 6 contracts. I might close off one here. Yeah, I always have my eyes. That's the nice thing about having multiple monitors. Is I have my eyes here, I can have my eyes on the chat and on these other markets where I might be talking and I might be doing something else. I don't know if it's a good habit or bad habit, but I will always be watching the markets that I'm trading. Like I said, I'm a trader first. I love this class. I'm happy to help and answer questions. But if I see an opportunity, I am going to jump at it and try and get in. That's just the reality of me, where I am a trader first. And trading can be very, very boring, and I very rarely get a lot of opportunities. If you are joining my slow markets, you probably see me take maybe 2 to 3 opportunities a night, and I don't want to miss them, right? Let's take a look at Nasdaq. We got a little bit of a pullback here on Nasdaq. The more screens, the better. Not necessarily. I mean, it depends what you're doing, right? If you are just trading, you only need one screen, to be honest, as a trader. You guys, and you've seen me do it live here in front of you guys, where I'd get on my phone and, that's all I needed was my phone to execute trades, right? So as a trader, you don't need a lot of computer screens. You don't need a lot of computer monitors. You really just need one. You need a good strategy. You need consistency, and you need to be able to manage your risk. Even though a lot of traders I do talk to and work with, they do have multiple monitors, and then I ask them well, do multiple monitors help you? And it's you know what? Yeah, because you have your charts on one, and maybe you have a movie or YouTube or something going on the other, so that way you're not always staring at your charts, and it gives you FOMO, or when you are looking at charts, you're very, very tempted to just place a trade at every single opportunity that you see. And so that way, if you're, I don't know if distracting yourself is the right word, but yeah, if you are not trying to force trades, or if you are distracting yourself from getting FOMO, I don't know the right way to say that. But yeah, if you have something else to do while you wait and you practice being patient while your trade's set up, then the better it is for you. I prefer to, how many computer monitors do you guys have? I have 4. I have 4 relatively big computer monitors, but I do a lot on mine in terms of I hold my class, I have multiple charts, I have Discord on one, I have Netflix on the other. So we have 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3. Oh, a lot of guys say you have 3. 1 oil, 1 Nasdaq, and 1 for YouTube. 4. So Alan has 4 out there. 4 plus a laptop. Heck, just 1. 3. Okay, that's a little surprising for me. A lot of you guys have 3. Danielle, I work off my laptop screen. 27.7, 6. 1 big one, 6. 2 people in here have 6 computer monitors. Do you guys find an advantage having more than 3? It seems like the average is 3. There's a lot of people in here with 3 computer monitors. Do you have a personal Discord? Nope, I don't have a personal Discord. I don't have social media. I don't have a personal Discord. The only way you guys could find me, to be honest, is through Topstep, because I don't do Facebook or Twitter or X or whatever it's called. I don't have Instagram. I am on Topstep's Discord. I do have a channel there, but I'm not on there every single day, 24/7. I just go on there and answer some traders' questions, and then I do my slow markets. Only smartwatch. I trade and do everything on. I don't know if that would be an interesting. You're saying you only trade and do everything on your smartwatch. Is that true? That is very interesting. Did my stop get hit on the Nikkei? No, my stop's at 41.95, and we're coming to the end of the class. We have the last 10 minutes. Let's get those final questions in. Let's see if I missed any here. Yeah, it's kind of a slow night tonight. We're starting to see crude oil start to sell off. Nasdaq, we're starting to sell off a little bit there. We're getting a little bit of a pullback, sell off, pullback, whatever. This gold is looking good. See, look, maybe I should have taken that short gold trade. And so everything's kind of just not going anywhere tonight. It was a slow market, normal hours too. Yeah, it's one of those. Dakota, how do you identify a trade that you could hold for a long time? So all of the trades that I do place during my slow markets, and you guys see me do it before, it's not like, oh, I plan to hold this one for X amount of time. It's more of, I look at these higher time frames. For example, I'm looking right now at the Nasdaq 60-minute chart. So this is a 60-minute chart on the Nasdaq. And when I place a trade on the 60-minute chart, typically the trade is at least 60 minutes, right? Because every candlestick is 60 minutes. And that being said, if I was to place on a 3-bar reversal, this is just an example. Say I get in long here, right? I was watching the New York session and we see a very good looking reversal bullish candle on the 60-minute chart here on the Nasdaq. I get into a trade, and it starts going my way. Let's say I have my stop loss here, my entry here, and I'm looking for the market to rally up towards this, right? This trade could probably last over a day if it was in my personal account, or at least to the end of the New York session close, because we're here at Topstep and we have to have our positions closed by the end of the New York session for our own sake, right? So this type of a trade, yeah, this would last multiple hours because it's the time frame I'm trading on. However, if this is the same trade setup, but it was on a 5-minute chart, and my stop loss just got hit. Oh, nope, no, it's not hit. My stop loss is 195. It's very close to just stopping me out. But if this was a 5-minute chart, each one of these candlesticks is 5 minutes. So instead of 60 minutes, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, it would have only been 20 minutes. And so it really depends on what time frame you're using. Dakota, do you go? One screen I use for DOMs for each account. Dakota, your stop is my entry in the Nikkei. So what should I do? I have a con at 195. That's up to you. Follow your strategy. I will never suggest you do a specific thing. I'm always preaching managing risk, finding good risk rewards, and being a risk manager. We each look at the market differently. We each trade differently. We each all have different trading strategies, and we're looking at different markets. And so what I'm looking at the market, you're looking at it at something different. So yeah, if anything, if you feel like you don't know what to do, maybe just place the trade in a demo account and go slow. Dakota Pebworth. I'm West Dakota, so whatever Dakota you are, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I believe it can be pain, but marketing is genius. Regarding your learning, you keep going, I'm sure. Well, I think that's it for me tonight, guys. We're coming up. It is a Monday night. I have Topstep TV tomorrow, so tune me in. I'm getting tomorrow set up. It's going to be an amazing thing. Yeah, you don't want to miss it. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. during Power Players. It's going to be fun. I know me, Isaac, and Andre, we're all going to be there. It's going to be really fun. And you guys could probably guess what it will be about. It's going to be about the markets. It's going to be analyzing statistics, the same old boring stuff, but there's going to be a little fun twist put in there. And guess what it is? Guess what? It's almost April 1st. Are we going to do some pranks? We have to do some pranks. I love to have pranks. And this is, Danielle, no. It's not going to be about LeBron. It's April 1st is next week. We have to do something for April 1st. I'm sure MP and Hogan team, they definitely have something planned for April 1st. Pull a prank on Rips? Yeah, I don't know. How would you pull a prank on someone when you really don't see him in person? Like that is difficult. Well, I'll have to find a way. I'm a big prankster with everybody I know. That's not a prank. No, what'd be really, what I should have done, guys? I should have came in here and pretended to do a fire drill, and then, but that would have made all you guys mad. That would have pissed everybody off. And then I would have had a talk with Danielle. I would have got one of those Discords, and yeah, I would have had that talking too. That would have made you guys mad, thinking that there's a fire drill and there not be one. I don't know how I could prank Topstep. There's got to be a way. Yeah, if you guys know of a good way, let me know. Tomorrow's going to be a good one. Tomorrow's going to be a good one. Yeah, tomorrow there's going to be some pissed off viewers, Danielle. So just risk disclaimer there. There's going to be some pissed off viewers. There's going to be some happy viewers. It's going to be good. And I think Andre's going to be in one of them. Andre's definitely going to be one of them. He's going to... I'm excited. So, okay, I think I better end it, guys. There's not really much going on. My Nikkei trade's still at break even. I'm in 2 contracts on the Nikkei. We could switch over to that, and it's just been slow. We'll see what happens. It's either going to stop me off. I mean, this was my stop loss right here. Most likely, I might. Yeah, I don't know. We'll watch and see if this one plays out. I'm risking about what, maybe $500 on this one. So, okay, guys, take care. I will catch you tomorrow during Power Players. Show up. It's going to be a good time. And other than that, oh yeah, there was one more update, everybody. So last update, Thursday, I do have a event going on. So Thursday, slow markets will be at, instead of 8 p.m. Central, Thursday is going to be 10 p.m. Central. So if that's too late, I apologize. That's life. It's better than just not having it at all. So I'm going to be pushing it from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Thursday night. So I'd rather push it rather than canceling it. That's the beauty about slow markets. Markets are slow, and we're not always needing to rush to miss market activity. So yep, just I have an event planned. I've already had pre-arrangement. Something came up. So take care, everybody. I will talk to you tomorrow.